Welcome everyone. Today we have a very special event, and before we show the Daily Dev app, I would like to spend a couple of minutes because I'm not alone on the today. I'm here. I've here one of my best friends on social media, Dennis Ivy. Dennis, introduce yourself and what's up, everyone.
Hey everybody! So that music's pretty intense. I didn't think I'd like it at 7 a.m. on my end, but it kind of wakes me up more than my coffee here. Hey everybody! I'm Dennis Ivy. For anybody that doesn't know me, YouTuber, developer advocate at Appright, and Francesco and I are just always collaborating and just hyping each other up. So I'm glad to be here.
Yes, we know each other before we became DevRels, we can say. Now,
Long before.
we could make a whole episode about that, but it's not what we're about to do today. Say hi in the chat. We can also tell us where are you from, why are you here, what do you expect? Because today we're doing an experiment, Dennis, and I tried to involve you in this crazy one, so I feel less alone. And we are trying to do something that I've seen a lot lately in tech. We're gonna just react on some posts. So first of all, we need to choose the post together. We can try to find something that makes sense to react to. The cool part is that since Daily Dev is a platform where we share articles, we can share and check articles on Daily Dev, and of course we can also check the articles themselves or the video on YouTube or other platforms. But this is what makes this very cool, and I'll show you a couple of ideas. Even, for example, if you plan to make some reaction videos, that I think Daily Dev can also help you. It came true. I remember you guys discussing a stream together. You have no idea how many live streams we are we're planning. This is random, I would say.
We have a lot more coming. I'm excited for this format. When you let me know about this, I was like, that sounds pretty cool because it's a very, very easy just to kind of come up with content around it, but at the same time, it lets us freely chat without any pressure of having to stick to a certain set of topics. I actually love the idea and the fact that we're going to be using Daily Dev. I mean, you're going to be able to obviously showcase something, through the platform, which I actually didn't realize Daily Dev had video. I saw an announcement, but I didn't pay attention.
This is you can also submit videos on the Dev. I can also show you how you can do it. We can also upload one of the Dennis Ivy's videos too. And first of all, I forgot to share it on all the social media stuff. So I'm trying to do this now, and then we can start. Yes, Danny, are you saying something?
Well, I didn't realize. Can you actually host videos on Daily Dev, like directly upload there?
Okay, so by the way, this is not scripted. This is real stuff. Yes, so when I joined Daily Dev in 2021, one of the cons, it was that Daily Dev was not a video platform. It was a blogging platform. But let me show you how we have here now. Basically, we embedded YouTube videos inside Daily Dev. You can watch a video inside Daily Dev, and through this we had a deal with YouTube itself. So we have a deal we partner with YouTube to have also access to higher amount of API requests. So it's not just an embed. That's it. It's a platform that where you can have YouTube videos on this, and you can watch videos directly here, which is great. And they get extra traffic. Check here, like this is just the number of upvotes. Usually upvotes is 10% of the videos, but this is like, I don't know, more than 1K extra views that if you're a YouTuber, you understand what this does mean, especially since this is free. Yeah.
So it's up to the YouTuber to upload it, though, right? Like
we have some sources that we can fetch, and of course they can also be uploaded as all the other things on Daily Dev. But this is the great news. We support natively YouTube videos now, so it's this is like a great update. One of my favorite updates, of course. You know what, Dennis? I know if I say this, it sounds very cheesy now, but I'm gonna say this anyway. My YouTube growth started exactly when Daily Dev started to roll out this feature. Now, maybe this is a coincidence, but maybe there is a percentage that helped me because I also got some of the videos on daily dev. Now, I can't say this because I'm the developer advocate, so it sounds cheesy, but it's a strange coincidence.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I definitely don't think it's the only reason, but Theo actually mentioned that a good percentage of his traffic comes from daily dev, which when I heard that really surprised me too. By the way, I see one of my articles, so I have to shout myself out here.
Where is it?
Top right, to the top right. It's the app right one. SSR versus CSR.
This
right.
one?
Yes. 75 upvotes. Oh, wow.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Okay.
I wrote that one.
It looks interesting.
Well, yes. I wrote it the night before we launched in it. And that one was very rushed, so I'm surprised that one's doing so well. I mean, the information's there, but I was definitely trying to crank it out.
No, I think I want to reply. Of course, if you have any question, just drop them. This is probably the perfect live to engage as much as possible, and we'll soon start to react. By the way, I never made a react to article video. Don't know if you ever made one, Dennis.
I don't feel like I have the personality for it, so let's see if it works here.
But you can build this personality.
Let's see how far I'm willing to go to morph into something. But yeah, I mean, I'm no Primogen or Theo where they're super cinematic. I'm just gonna see what's in my mind.
Let's see. More about the partnership. Now, is this a paid thing? No, of course but this I'm talking about like the daily dev company itself. We had a deal with YouTube. So just to explain you that you can't replicate this just with a GitHub repository, because to having the possibility to fetch thousands of times the APIs from YouTube with a normal account, you can do this. You can use the YouTube APIs, but you need a special account. Just to tell you that now we support natively this. Yeah.
Isn't it going to be? It would be rate limited if you did it without it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So to not being rate limited, because if it's your weekend side project, you probably don't care. But if you have an app with to more than 200,000 users, probably you don't want this to fail. This API request. I see also Jason in the chat. Or we go roasting content. Yeah, I don't know. Probably we will. I want to check, of course, something which is controversial. I don't want to just nod all the time.
Jason.
Yeah. Let's see. Thanks for the info. You're welcome. Nice. Okay, nice. So, Dennis, the idea is this. We go on daily dev. We choose an article. We can also, of course, share the article, the daily dev article in the chat. So if you can check it, and then we can get either the comments on the daily dev platform or the article and go back and forth. Let's go roast away. You have no idea, Jason. We should, and I'm basically getting Dennis when he just woke up. But if I can start roasting and start like this, it will be really amazing. Nice lighting, by the way, Dennis. Like it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I used to use the purple pinkish, but then I realized it makes my face look really weird, and the blue just kind of sits better. This is not because I like the blue; it's because the lighting comes better this way, and I don't have a good soft light.
Yeah,
so thank you. I'm glad it turned out.
Yeah, there is a mess on my coach, so I solved it with the green screen today. So it's I just solved any issues like this. Okay, nice. So let's go. Let's start. By the way, this is not planned. I just want to let you know that we can use the daily dev platform to choose the article, because otherwise we should go, on dev.to, on Hashnode, on YouTube. On YouTube, I have no idea how we can make a React video, because there are so many. I should probably type something controversial, something like this. Dennis looking up still looks better than I do with 4 hours of preparation and makeup. Nice. Okay, so we have you can see here we have popular. We have different feeds for daily dev. Maybe we can start with this. And we have popular, most upvoted, best discussions. It might be interesting for being on the daily dev platform. You can see here how many we have. Some comments in here, for example, 50 comments. This looks interesting to me. Also, this one from DHH. So we have material. Dennis. There's always some drama in tech. So yes. Do you see something might be interesting? There is also, for example, fast a new code editor in town, the Z editor that I didn't see. I didn't see this video by Theo, this one by Fireship. There are so many that I don't know. We should just I think
there's the NVIDIA one.
Yeah, we can do the video
because I only saw the headline, but I didn't get a chance to see it, to actually read it, and I'm actually curious on what he's saying, because I right off the bat I kind of laughed to myself and I disagree with it big time, because I have my own opinions on AI and coding. It was one scroll up, I believe. He's basically saying NVIDIA CEO thinks
you want to start with the big one.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, okay, this is not a video, this is an article. So let's go, Dennis. And so we want to, so as you can see, Dennis is so we have 54 comments on the Daily Dev platform itself. If you are curious, I want to share also this one, so you can also get the link. I would say sharing the link, and here, and then we can start reading. So, but we can read the article. So let's start, Dennis. Let's see. NVIDIA CEO thinks we shouldn't learn how to code. AI can do it for us. We'll start.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's just a clickbaity title. He's probably going to say something like how coders should use AI, but not. I
thought it was. Now with AI, you make like you use like Elon Musk, Zuckerberg face. It's a meme. Like I think you thought the same. No, he said this is real. Now it's hard even to decide what is AI and what is not. Nice. Use the great and Python. Okay, nice. So I would say let's read the article first, then we can see what people said on daily.dev. Did you read the article yet or not?
No, I did not.
This is genuine.
Are we going to be reading this out loud just like that, or
let's see how long it is.
I was going to say, isn't there like a TLDR on that? And well, I guess that's probably not.
Yeah, there was a TLDR on daily.dev. NVIDIA CEO believes that with advancements in AI, traditional coding languages may become obsolete, and humans obsolete too. No, humans should focus on other practical areas. So basically, becoming farmers. This is the suggestion.
Did you share the link in the chat too? I'm trying to.
I already shared the link to the daily.dev, and then you can also, of course, go to this one. And our kids shouldn't learn how to code, as AI can do it for them. Okay, so AI. Okay, we have also some tweets here. I want to check how long it is, so to have an idea. It's not that long.
Yeah, it's
so we can. So it's a good one to start. Just I want to make it just a bit bigger. And then, okay, what is this? Okay, nice. Okay, do you want to read some parts or read some of them?
Yeah, sure. I can give it a try. I'm pretty sure I have like a form of dyslexia, so let's give it a shot. I have a hard time reading out loud, but let's go ahead and try it. So during the latest World Government Summit in Dubai, Jensen, is that the right way to say it? Jensen. Won.
Yeah.
Probably completely pronounced that the wrong way, but the CEO of NVIDIA spoke about things our kids shouldn't learn in the future. It may come as a surprise, but Juan does think that our kids don't need the knowledge of coding. Just leave it to AI. He mentioned that a decade ago there was a belief that everyone needed to learn how to code, and they were probably right. But based on what we see nowadays, the situation has changed due to the achievements in AI, where everyone is literally a programmer. Okay, I can't agree with that, but
this is a great
talked about how our kids may not necessarily need to learn how to code, and the focus should be on developing technology that allows for programming languages to use more human-like, to be more human-like. In the essence of traditional coding languages such as C++ and Java may also become obsolete, as computers should be able to comprehend human language inputs. Let's see, over the last 10 to 15 years, almost everybody who sits on stage like this would tell you that it's vital for our kids to learn how to code, to learn computer science. Okay, so I think I'm starting to get the gist of it. It's sounding like he's basically talking about the language morphing, just like I thought. The way we're actually the way we're prompting things and basically the way developers are actually working. So he's basically talking about low-level languages, which I don't think he's blatantly saying that we shouldn't be actually learning how to code.
So do you think that this is like whoever wrote this article, like, went the extra mile and added some creative and clickbaity thing? But
It
this
looks
is
like
not
they're
the.
trying to sensationalize it for sure a little bit. So
I want to see exactly the opposite. Steria. It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program, and not the programming language. He's human. Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle of AI. I don't agree with this statement that everybody in the world is a programmer. I would say it's probably easy to write some code nowadays. So but is that the right code? that's my question.
see, that's like saying everybody who uses AI is now an AI engineer at some level. I mean, we're using AI to make videos now. We're using these auto caption tools, Instagram, so many platforms that we're using or pretty much already are naturally including it, and we're just it's in our mix, but it doesn't make us AI engineers. So that's kind of where the whole programmer thing. I get where he's trying to go with it, but I wouldn't go that far with it.
Yeah, let's say mastering fields such as biology, education, manufacturing, agriculture. You see, it's suggesting to become farmer. Other could allow experts to allocate the time they might have spent learning computer programming toward more fruitful endeavors. As a result, the only language necessary would be HTML. No, would be the one humans are naturally proficient in, the language they have known and used since birth, if they are native speakers. Do you agree with Juan? What are your thoughts? And Tom's Hardware. So this was the source. So there was an article on Tom's Hardware. But yes, let's see. I want to check if this is if it's the same article or not. But
yeah, it looks like the same thing.
Let's see. I think it's similar. Okay, so let's go back on this one. Of course, if you're in the chat, you can also give your point of view. I think the article created like an additional level of just of engagement, just to. But I want to read also something here on daily.dev. The other day I saw a video about him saying everyone should learn programming in school. I don't know if there was also this one. Now we don't know what is real and what is not. But yeah, let's see. It's been a huge benefit. I think that this is just gonna do what happened the last 20 years. So just change the way developers create code. So this is my only thing. But for someone, can even be easier now to code, I would say. Someone agrees. Yeah,
it's going to lower the barrier to entry. So that's my whole thing. Like with video editing, this is an area actually that I'm seeing affected by AI like crazy. Video editing, photo editing. Before, if I ever needed to edit something, I'd have to go into Photoshop. I'd have to manually grab the background, use that select wizard tool. Francesco, I'm sure you've used these. Now I can just submit my picture to a website or that's using AI, and it just automatically removes that. So it's changing it. It's not removing photographers. Like the other day, AI generated pictures of myself, and it was probably 98% accurate, and it was kind of freaky. Doesn't mean that it's eliminating photographers. It's going to change how photographers are working. So there's a lot of industries that are being impacted by it. Like you said, in the last 20 years, so many things have shifted. And the irony is it didn't take jobs, it only changed how they are. With the evolution of frameworks, it's only, I mean, to me, in my opinion, it's actually created more jobs. And I think we have data to prove that with, the JavaScript frameworks, all these tools that are coming out. AI, I believe, is going to have that same impact. And I feel like it's going to be the one industry that's actually going to be least impacted by AI as far as losing jobs. I've seen people attribute AI or the loss of jobs that we're kind of facing right now in the tech industry to AI. There's absolutely no evidence for that. Not a single bit of evidence. In fact, there's evidence towards other things. But I've seen people say that that's because of AI, and that's just not true at all. I haven't seen any way at this point where it can potentially replace programmers, and I've only seen where it can assist. And anybody that I've heard kind of have that worry really doesn't know how AI works and doesn't have a good core understanding. To me, it's like the less someone knows, the more they're scared of it. And that's kind of the two things that I've seen kind of go hand in hand. It's just that fear of the unknown, but once you kind of get it, it's just, I only see the benefits of it. It's just going to speed things up like crazy. I don't know if that's going to be necessarily for a good thing in certain areas, but for my job, I've only seen improvements.
Yes, for example, I agree with what Anup said here. Like we should learn how to code to review what AI writes. So AI models can't create production-ready applications, and I kind of agree, I would say. I mean, if I had my own startup, my own company, I would not just put AI AI produced code in production. A human interface is needed to review what AI generates. So this is
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, AI is dumber than a brick. Have you seen the coded outputs?
which one?
AI in general. I'm saying, have you seen, like, if you actually had it write any code, it doesn't know anything. It hallucinates way too much. So until we can fix a hallucination problem, I can feed it any information I want and can totally sabotage it. So for example, if you use, I believe it was Bard, find.com, they both use basically up-to-date AI, like where ChatGPT has, like, it's behind 2 years. These use up-to-date information. If I were to ask Find or Bard right now, like some false information, like let's say, can Django use MongoDB? What it's going to do is it's going to go find some articles or a Stack Overflow question where somebody is trying to provide a solution and it doesn't know right from wrong. So it's just going to get that information and summarize it for me. So if I try to tell it to build something, it can't differentiate bad information from good information. So it's just going to give me whatever it thinks should be the output. And in my experience, it's always been wrong in the complex things. Like we're so, was it V0 by Vercel? We're so impressed by it making this, it made this web page, right? Like people draw up this page and then it built it. Like that's one of the easiest things. And I promise you, that's not how people are going to be coding in the future. It's a little bit more complex. So from my experience, it only hallucinates and has issues with the coded outputs. And then there's an argument, oh, it's going to get better. Sure, but there's not much evidence based on the data it's given that it is going to get better in that sense. I don't know. I don't see it.
Yes. So, for example, something that I can say is that at least for me, from a personal point of view, ChatGPT is replacing, for example, forums and Stack Overflow, not 100%, but like I would say like 80, 90%, for the single reason that most of the times I know that something is possible. I don't know. I want to connect the Django with MongoDB Atlas. I know that it's possible. So in that case, if I can even look for an article or a Stack Overflow answer, or I can ask directly to ChatGPT. So for this specific task that you already know is possible, it's probably a great solution, if not the best solution so far.
Yeah.
But then as someone said, once you start, of course, making something more architectural or maybe just giving some requirements, it will generate something for sure. But if I had a company, I don't know if I would rely to this 100%, because it had to be. I think it has to be reviewed. So if nobody's gonna learn how to code, how can we understand what's the right one? I agree that this will change, but programming already changed. Like 20 years ago, it was not possible to handle a cluster of applications alone. Or I don't know how old Upright is, but what Upright does now, I don't think it was possible 30 years ago. Maybe you can talk about in this case, because it's interesting.
Yeah, I like this comment right here. AI is a tool, not a replacement. Hey, Francesco, I want to run a little experiment with you if you want to try this. If you go to find.com, it's PHIND. I want to ask a question and see what AI is going to output.
Like so, this?
Yeah, that's it. Can you just look up, can I use Firebase with Django? And I can give you the answer right now, and then maybe you can even ask it, should I? But AI is really good at giving you the TLDR on like information. This? Yeah, let's just.
By the way, I didn't know about this find thing.
I love it. So what I love about it is it's going to give you the sources too. So if you look on the right side, yes, you can use Firebase with Django. The purpose such as, okay, this is going to summarize it. See right here, if AI actually knew what it was doing, it would tell you that this is a possibility, but you shouldn't do it, or it would give you examples. And if you actually start pressing it, it's going to start giving you some really bad information because it doesn't know how to say no. It's always going to try to find an answer. So it's going to scan the internet. It's going to try to find any information where this was mentioned, and it's going to have like a confirmation bias to it. So it's not going to try to find the counter argument. So like all this information right here, it's in theory right, but it's also like you can do it, but it's also not a good solution. But here it's sitting here and telling you that, yeah, go ahead and do this, right? Like look at the path that it's sending a user on. Does that make sense?
I mean,
like my
technically
argument behind that?
I mean, I hope that if you type this question, you should be aware of what it does mean. But I think that's more like this research should be done before typing here. But yes, I mean, it's.
But the argument of AI can do it for you, right? Like it's not going to be able to conclude that on its own.
You're right. So these, like, for example, these architectural decisions must be done by someone who knows what Firebase is, what Django is, what Upright is, what
exactly my point.
Yeah. Interesting. Nice. Next request, we can do this also on the AI search, which, by the way, we merged this search, I think 2 days ago. So now here we can search both the articles on daily.dev and also use the search AI. After this live stream, I need to record a video about this. So nice. So this was just first article that I think that it's very controversial. For me, it's weird that it's said by someone so, let's say, important and relevant in tech. But no, maybe this is not exactly what he said, but I think they let him say this because this sounds more controversial, quite a controversial statement.
So, in my opinion, I don't think this guy has coded in a long time. I don't know much information. I'm going to sound stupid.
Which is okay. I mean,
but like there's a lot of people in certain positions that voice opinions like that aren't maybe, down in the deep actually working on a certain tool. So it's very easy to just kind of give an opinion like that without having much context to it. I had a boss like that years ago, so that's kind of what I'm referencing. Where he would say things, and then us as the employees were like, "No, don't say that publicly. That's not correct."
Or yes, nice. So I really enjoyed this. Let's try to get something else here. We can see, I don't know what warp is. We have this one by Firebase that tempts me, but let's see if we find Electron, React 19. We have React 19 by Theo, new code editor in town. This also tempts me a lot. Online CSS, Tailwind. You can also make suggestions if you are in the chat. How to use Google Gemini with Node.js application. Also interesting. This is by Arinda. Proven JavaScript strategies for developers. 10 things you should never say to junior developers. This tempts me. Also.
Ooh, let's try that. That sounds like a good one.
Let's try this. This seems tips for senior developers on how to effectively mentor junior developers, including avoiding certain phrases, creating a supportive work environment, and encouraging professional growth. Like you should make that game. Like we start with 10 fingers, and if you say this to a junior developer, you remove a finger. Let's go with this one. And now I want to know. First, I want to share this one with the chat, just in case you want to check it out on daily.dev. And now, before going this, I think that if you want to make any reaction video, I think that daily.dev is a great platform because you can see here the articles that gets more discussions, and then you can react to them. So daily.dev can be a platform for reaction. Nice. This was featured on D3 is daily.dev, by the way. Jason, this is how Jason calls daily.dev.
Why D3?
Okay, nice. Let's see. 10 things you should never say to junior developers. Experienced developers, this one is for you. So it's interesting because they are tips. You guys aren't watching videos. We could also watch videos later. We start with articles now, but we can also end up with watching some videos later. So first of all, this is interesting because usually, you get tips for juniors. So in this case, we get tips for senior developers, which are usually harder to mentor. Your choice of words may affect a Minty in ways you don't anticipate, even if your intentions are good. Okay. The ultimate goal of mentoring junior developers is to build confidence, foster learning, and encourage professional growth. One of the ways we can help our mentees become successful developers is by using supportive and constructive language. For example, not the phrases in this article. This is getting me interested.
I was gonna say we can scan the headlines to these.
Yes, let's start. Let's scan some of them, but we got the idea. Of course, we need to go a bit fast. This is easy, or it's not that hard. So I think that this is every time I have to I say this sentence, I think twice. Like, is it really worth saying this or not? Because it makes look things. Basically, I'm telling you that you are dumb if you can't make it.
Yeah, I don't know. I always take that one. I mean, I can see why that's not why it's one you shouldn't say, but I've never taken it that way. Like, I've had people say that to me and it's never bothered me. It's actually done the opposite and given me it. To me, it almost draws out the path of, okay, I don't know it, and there's a reason why they're explaining it to me, but it helps take away that fear, because if they're saying, okay, it's actually not that complex, let me try to explain it. Like, it's giving me that confidence that, okay, I should be able to understand this. Let's just give it some time. So I can see where it can come off condescending. But for me personally, in my early years, it never bothered me, but I can see that. I can agree with it.
Yeah, I think it also depends on which context this is said, because as you can see, like you can also say this like to encourage people to just say, hey, like, don't overcomplicate this concept, but this is like as simple as I'm actually saying. Like, I don't know, put this line here. You don't have to invent something else. But yes, I mean, I can sort agree in some extent, but it depends. If you say this in a very, let's say, arrogant way, this can be turned into a very triggering phrase. I agree. Okay, you should already know this. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I can see that one. I may be guilty of this one too, but it's the context. Like, I'll be I've helped my wife Solomita when she's coding. Like, there's certain times where it's more of like she was doing some JavaScript stuff the other day, and she was working on DOM manipulation. And in the context that I would say is in, hey, like, we've already discussed this one. This is something that you should already understand, and I'll kind of summarize when we talked about it. But if it's just saying, let's say I come to a new company, I'm submitting a PR, and the company has their way of doing certain things, like their process. If you tell me you should already know this, what it's going to do is it's going to create the fear of asking questions, because there's a lot of times, like, there's so much information that new developers are bombarded with when they're coming to a new organization that you may have heard it at one point, but it kind of goes over your head. Like, you're just trying, like, you're not the first person that they've talked to. So that means they're probably getting information from 10, 15 other people. So by telling them you should already know this, you're automatically going to get them to close off and not be willing to ask questions, which you always want someone to ask questions. You don't want them feeling stupid, because they'll just be quiet and they won't ask the questions, and then they'll do something wrong and then create bigger issues because of it. So this, I would say, is not for the developers, personal security. It's for yourself. Like, if you're saying this to them, you're not giving them that open space, they're just going to cause issues later. I've personally experienced that. So you need to create an atmosphere where they're always willing to ask questions, even if they feel dumb, even if they asked it multiple times, because I do that at work right now. Like, there's one of our we have like this, I already forgot the link to it. We have this URL for uptime where we can track AppWrite's uptime on our website. And I had to ask Eldad, our CEO, for that link, even though I have used it like 10 times by now. It's been, several months since I've worked here, and I don't need to use it that often. But if he made me feel stupid for not knowing where that link is, I would spend another 2 hours trying to find it in a chat thread somewhere, simply because he said, you should already know this. Does that kind of make sense? Like, where it can close people off?
Yeah, it makes sense, and I think this can even be like a signal of like maybe there is something in the product that maybe can be improved. I don't know, in some ways, trying to make things easier, and this also is saying that it can also lead to imposter syndrome in some ways. Like if I don't know this yet, it means that probably maybe tech is not for me. Maybe coding is not for me. I think that this is not what we want to happen. Let's say to junior developers. How could you make this mistake? That's not how I would have done it. Okay, this is a bit cocky. Maybe you are just not cut out for.
Yeah, this is like. This is something you don't say to anybody, not just a junior developer. I saw that comment. I 100% agree with that.
Nice. Yes. This is you'd say maybe they're in order of arrogance because you see it seems that it's growing. So.
Yeah.
Nice. You're taking too long. It's faster if I do it, or I don't have time to explain this to you. Okay, we all have bad days, but I think that this is not how you should talk to other human beings in any ways, because yes, we learn at different paces, and it's faster if I do it. I think it's very bad because I think that one of the worst things, and also one of the fears of juniors, is to feel like useless, that like you create more friction than what you can actually provide. And so if you feel useless, this can really make you leave, because if it's just me understanding something, okay, but if I feel like like I'll just wait, and like maybe the company is moving fast, especially in a startup, this can make them just leave. Yes. Any comment here?
No, I agree. You said that right. And the thing is, a lot of junior developers will be more of a drag than they will be, in my opinion. Like, I've worked with a few. It takes more time to explain and work with them, but the idea is to build them up from that position. So it's your job as a senior developer, as a manager, to not make them feel that way, to understand that they're in training. Maybe don't load up such big tasks on them. But yeah, I think you're right. That's a fear of a junior developer, and your job is to make sure that doesn't happen.
Nice. So let's go with this one. Just with this way, that's not how we do things around here. I would add also the classic, we have always done it that way.
I mean, this is like, if someone's just telling you the way the company does things, I mean, as long as it's like, I don't see an issue with this one, right? Like if we're using React and we're using an older version of it, and we're writing class-based components, and a junior comes in and starts wanting to write functional components, you might have to, tell them, hey, we're sticking to this. This is how we do it, because we're not going to change our architecture because you want to use the latest React hook. I've had to do that before, where I had somebody in my organization, they wanted to use, wasn't Tailwind, what's the other one?
Bootstrap.
Not Bootstrap. Oh man, I'm totally spacing out. It's too early for me. Anyways, they wanted to use a super high level version of one of those CSS compilers, and it was like, hey, we're just not going to go that way. We're not going to change our entire format and style of the company just because you want to use the latest and greatest tool. Like, even if it is better, this is the way we do things around here. So I can see this one in a different area, or from a different point of view.
Yes, I would say maybe this is not that harsh as some previous ones. Maybe I would say if you have time, you can also, I think, explaining the reason might be a good one, just because hey, we are using this because there is a reason, or like we already, maybe already tried the other framework. And for example, on daily.dev, we were used to use React. Then we used Preact for a while, and then we went back on using just React. So if someone would just propose to use Preact again, maybe because they are new developers, we could explain the reason why we stopped using it. There's also a good article about that. If I find it, I will link it. So giving a reason is usually, I think, a good way. Nice. Want to read this one, Dennis?
Let's see. You're too new for this. You're just a junior developer. You won't understand until you have more more experience. Sounds like this person just had a really bad experience with somebody. Yeah, that's a terrible thing to say. I think we can just agree on this one real quick. There's no need to elaborate.
Like I don't know. I'll tell you this when you will grow up. Like this is the
yeah. You're lucky
nice.
to. Oh, I guess I'll leave that other
Okay.
one.
For experience, let's go with the next one. You are lucky to even be here. Okay, that's we will see. We are at the end, and we are going to the very very bad one and harsh one that we don't even need to implant. The junior should be grateful for their job. Yeah. Okay, that's one I think that we can agree. That's a dumb question. Discouraging questions for labeling. I think we should really remember that we all have been like inexperienced developers, and I think in making dumb questions, it means that probably that's an easy question, but I think it's easier to answer to that instead of just making people feel bad. Try to focus on collaboration and create a safe environment. I think I agree this one. Last one, Dennis. You want to read it?
So I have a funny experience with this one. So real programmers don't use, or that's not how it's done in the real world. I had an employee say this to me one time, and it cracked me up. I didn't get mad. I only cracked up because I was doing things in one way, and he goes, "Dennis, you're a developer, yeah? Then do it this way." Like, just in a very condescending way. I found it really funny because, my method wasn't that good. And let's see, real programmers. I don't know. This one wouldn't offend me, like, because I've actually had it said to me and it didn't bother me at all. Because if there is a better way to do something, I'm very okay with hearing it. Real programmers don't use, let's say, X. I mean, yeah, I can see where it can come off bad, but I don't know. I guess I have thick skin. It only cracked me up.
Yes, I can read here the just use Git through a bash shell. And I also use Git through a bash shell, but I will never say this to someone. Yes, I mean, if you really want to be or want to look cool, I would say like I will do this way, but like telling someone like how they will do it, I don't know. In some case, it can help, like especially if they are looking for help, you can say, "Hey, I've done this and this, it worked for me," for example, leading by example, and you can say the exact same thing, just in a different way that doesn't make them look feel dumb and useless. So I can say, "Hey, I've been using this." For example, let's take the Git Bash reason. Like I use Git Bash because once I switch operating system, I know that it's the same experience on all the operating system, no matter what. It can change the interface of the CLI, and that's the reason why I'll say why I'm using Git Bash, not because I want to look cool, of course. I want to be operating system agnostic. I don't want to rely on, I don't know, specific GitHub UI client if I code on Mac, Windows, and Linux. This is the answer I would say, not just to look cool. I mean, I'm already cool. I don't need to look cool. Okay, this was nice, by the way, and it also got some articles, and of course, this is very personal. So some of them, like they disagree because it depends, I would say. So yeah, I like this one. Dennis liked it. Nice. I hate JavaScript, of course. Let's see some about the.
There's one by Primogen on company loyalty, but it's a video. That one looks kind of interesting because I have some opinion on that.
We should find it. Yeah, I mean, I think the best ones are the ones that express an opinion. So I think that, for example, best discussion is probably the best one. And but let's see, we can even try with a video.
I just sent it to you in a private chat if you want to look at that one, but I'm scanning for some more too.
It's a daily.dev link. Let's see.
So it's just an interesting topic because company loyalty has changed so much. And I come from more of an old school background, especially with how I was raised by my dad, where there was a lot of loyalty. Like in his mind, it's like if you're getting paid, you work your butt off and you make sure that you earn your place there. The changes, companies used to hire generationally. They used to hire a family member, and then let's say they would hire your dad and maybe hire you years later, and your dad would work there for 50 years and retire. Like there was just kind of this tradition. And I think the world has, especially in tech, has evolved so fast, and it's so fast paced to where everything's gone to maximizing shareholder value, to where companies will no longer, like in a bad year, stick to employees. Like you always hear companies back in the day where they would actually, reduce budgets and they would adjust certain things, but they'll do anything they could to keep their employees. Where nowadays it shifts so fast that a company doesn't have loyalty to you, and that also has to shift in the other way around. You have to look out for your best interest. Do the best you can for the company. I always believe you should be providing value and making sure you're worth what they're paying you. But at the same time, you got to remember that they're just not going to have that for you. It is a bad thing, I would say, in certain ways, but it's more of just, in my opinion, the reality of the world. It means that you have to be much more flexible, quicker to adjust, and understand that there's a good chance you're not going to be in that one spot for Solana. We have so many more startups right now that, their loyalty may be due to a company just wanting to get rid of employees, or maybe the startup failed. You can't really, do much about that.
Yeah, I think that we should really understand what is like working and family. They are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can be lucky and be in a healthy working environment, but let's see. I think I already watched it, but let's see. I want to see. I'm not sure if the audio is shared. Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear it. I think you have to reshare your audio or your screen with audio, I believe.
Let me stop screen. Okay. You turn your camera off to share screen. Tab.
Let me know if you hear any background noise. I just had to open up my heater vent because it's getting real cold in the room. But if it's interrupting, I can try to change that.
Can you hear it now?
You're at a company.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. You hear it through the live stream.
Perfect. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's go. It's just a 56 seconds.
Perfect.
So I just share it again, just in case you want to take a look. Let's see. 3, 2, 1.
You're at a company. You really like the company. It's having money issues. First off, don't ever be loyal to a company. Okay. Now, if this is your company, you got to be loyal because it's yours. But if you're just an intern at a company, you don't have to be loyal. Okay. Because remember, the moment you can no longer fit the bill, you get axed. Same thing should be on the other side. If the company's not looking good, if their profits aren't going where they need to be, their runway's running out, be smart. Start looking for jobs. Here's the best part. Let's say you really love Rust and you really want to use Rust. So what could you do? You could go and look for Rust jobs for like the first month completely, or Go jobs, or OCaml jobs, or anything jobs, right? You could actually go and find the job you really, really want. And then as time gets closer and closer, you can find the job you need. There's a really good benefit to being at a company that you know you have to leave is that A, don't be loyal, don't make dumb decisions. B, find the job you want. And C, if you can't do that, you got to find the job you need,
Okay, so in this case, what I really like, first of all, this is wisdom. And I mean, maybe if you've been working, especially in tech, for 5 years, this is obvious. But let's not make the
yeah, you should know this by now.
Let's not make the senior developer, let's say, a mistake of saying like, okay, this is obvious. It's obvious if you've been working in tech for 5-10 years. This is obvious, but let's say that you are a fresher. Maybe you are in your 20s, which is basically like being very young, at least compared to me. And you find a company that offers you a tech job, so you're very grateful to them. But I think that what you should never do is to settle, especially in tech. This is, I think, the most dangerous thing that you can do. In Italy we say sitting on laurels, like just sleeping without thinking about improving yourself. And I think that this is the essence of what Prime saying here. So it's not that you should not be grateful or work hard for a company. It's about here the mindset of want to do something else, change the company if there is a reason. And I think we should never be ashamed of doing this, of changing job. I switched the job when I came to daily.dev. I think you also changed the job. It's absolutely fine. Yeah.
So there is a level to this where I can provide a counter argument to this. There's a level to where I personally would have the loyalty no matter what. And if it's somebody reaching out to give, to take a chance on me, if I promise something, I don't care what direction I'm going or what offer I got. If I said something, that's what I'm going to do. So to me, I see a lot of people jumping ship very early, getting experience from one position and then go into the next. And I think that's great. But as long as that's communicated early on, I feel like there should be a level of, hey, I'm going to be here for a year and then I'm going to switch out. But if you take off before that, it's only going to hurt your reputation because these people are the ones that are recommending you for future roles. You might need them you might need them later on. So if you're one of those people that's just jumping around from opportunity to opportunity, trying to get that salary increase as fast as you can, there is a level where, hey, these people are paying your salary. And if you're just getting trained up and taken off before you can provide value, to me personally, I wouldn't be able to sleep with myself at night. I would need to make sure I was worth what they paid me. And I would need to make sure that I left on good terms. Now, if I communicated something and I said, hey, within 6 months, I want to be doing X and I wasn't provided that opportunity, then I don't really feel as bad for leaving. But there has to be that personal it's a loyalty to a person and to an agreement, not to an organization. Because I've seen my last organization ask people, like it's nobody's business and not even think twice about it. So I wasn't loyal to that. I was loyal to the people that hired me and what they hired me for. And I wanted to make sure I delivered. But I think that's got to be a personal thing and a one-on-one person with your manager. Because one day you're going to ask them for a review on your resume or a letter of recommendation. When the economy goes bad, who's gonna write that for you? If you leave on those kind of terms, that wouldn't be that good. So that's a counter to it. Yeah, it's one way of looking at it.
Yes, I agree, and if and yes, I think that like if you start complaining about the company, if you leave, maybe there was a way to solve this maybe earlier. Because if you keep staying in the same company for years, for months, and you hate it, maybe it's just time to leave. But that's the thing. Otherwise, everything becomes worse. So it's this is how I think it should be done. And I think yes, the worst thing is that you should never settle or say I don't know, I'm lucky to work here and that's it. And then you start, of course, complaining about the company because maybe you expect something. But I would say the job is a job. This is exactly what it is. So you should deliver things. Don't let's say expect that I will do exactly what is required. And of course, there are sometimes you can if you have some time, maybe you can work a bit more, especially on specific periods. But that should always be the exception. I think that what Prime says about find some time for yourself, for your personal growth. Anyway, it's probably the best you can do. I like this take. Nice. I think that I should share this thing again now. Extra. I share the screen again because I think I can't share a tab, or maybe I can. Wait, let me try. Share a tab. Nice. Do you like this format or not?
I do. I actually, as a recommendation, I would say it'd be nice to prep a few articles too, to kind of be able to look through those and have at least scan them, not read them, but have them ready to go.
Okay, nice. Let's try this. Okay. Okay, nice. This is another account. Let's see. Must have voted, but I think discussion is the best to find something that we can discuss about. how to build good portfolio, serverless Node.js tutorials. Let's see. This is the article by Upright. Right type of database. Machine learning. Let's see. Discussions. I need to find something which is good to talk about. Turnitin. I think there was the one by maybe this one, but I don't know. Hello, Vico. Hello, Diva. Nice.
Maybe we can look up a genre within Daily Dev. Like, would we be able to search up like I don't know, like almost like a top 10 article or something like that? Like, is there a way to suggest that?
Yeah, we can try. Usually the top is here.
Not like top articles, more like articles along a certain type of topic. Like somebody maybe breaking down top 10 tools to use for X or whatever. Like something that can get
can we react to this? Top 10.
And then maybe just leave it there. Yeah, let's just.
Top 10 benefits, top 10 microservice, top 10. Because we made the top 10. Top 10 web development trends 2024.
Ooh, we'll see that. Let's try it.
It's not too interesting for us.
Let's see.
Scroll checking this process. Let's see functionality.
Can you zoom in a little bit? It's a little bit difficult to see.
Yes, of course. I'm just checking if this is worth. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's see. Oh my God. Living in Europe. Connor Murphy. I know this guy. So I'm sorry, Connor, if you are reacting to your. But I know this is he's a very nice guy. No, he's a very nice guy. So now I will feel bad if I disagree. But yeah, it is what it is, Connor. I'm sorry. Okay. Top web development trends. I'll bet there will be some AI, I think. Let's see.
Of course.
Number one.
Every site needs to have a chatbot now.
But no, I need to share. Wait. No, because it opened up on another tab. I can maybe do like this. Can you see it now? Okay.
Yeah,
okay. So maybe a bit bigger. Okay. Nice. AI. This. Adding AI functionality to applications. Wow. On number one. Tools like ChatGPT have become increasingly popular. I don't know if this is this is like a trend to watch in 2024. What do you think?
This is exactly what I just said. Every site is going to have an AI chatbot. I can see that being a trend 100%. I was actually working, this is an idea that I'm working on with Floor and Pop, where we want to add a chatbot to a personal site, right? So let's say someone goes to Francesco, is it Ciulla, right?
Ciulla, yeah,
Francesco Ciulla. So I don't know. So let's say they go to your website, francescociulla.com, whatever it is, and they want to ask you a question, right? Like let's say I'm looking to hire you, or I'm looking to check out your resume. I can type in, what programming languages does Francesco know? What are Francesco's strengths? So I can talk to a chatbot, and what you would do is you would just feed it information, train it on yourself. But I think more and more sites are going this way. And I was actually thinking about using it for a personal site in that scenario. This is huge for documentation. When you go to any company website, whether it's just their website in general or their documentation, like let's say you go to the Upright documentation, I'm not sure what phase we're at in this process, but this is something that we've discussed, is using a chatbot to where you don't have to just search all the information that we have. We have our documentation, but if you have a question on a certain method, you don't have to go find it. You just ask the chatbot. It's going to go scan our documentation. It's trained on it, and it can provide it for you right there. So I 100% see this being a trend. I mean, it's already a trend. We also use this at my last company, Agora. We were training this on our documentation. I think this is going to be a standard. So you don't have this dumb chatbot that's just asking you if this and then that questions. It's actually replying with really informative information. It's not just trying to guess what you're trying to say.
No. Yes, I will see. We will see, but probably this has some use cases. I'll be curious about how this chatbot is implemented. If it does everything automatically on the app, or you need like to give it a lot.
So it's very easy. It's very easy. So what you do, so one example is Site GPT. I believe a friend of mine actually built that.
You just said it's very easy, Dennis.
Hey, well, I'm gonna still say it because it is very easy. So the idea is very easy. So it's, you know how SEO works, how Google indexes your site, correct? Are you familiar with that idea? So it's the same way. So what you do is you would simply give your URL to this chatbot. You would give it, and it would give it to the site. It would scan all the pages. It would train on that information. It's the equivalent of if you're working with OpenAI and you're using like LangChain or something like that. You feed it the information. So it's going to take, let's say, like, I don't know, a couple minutes, maybe an hour or so to train on your data. And then you simply grab that link and you embed it on your site. So it's almost like a 1-2 step process. Provide the link, let it scan your site. It'll do all the work. And then you embed the link. Site GPT is one.
Nice. It's interesting for the docs. I think I'll just I'll take a look at this. But yes, nice. I don't know.
I'm surprised you disagree. I thought you'd be on this trend. This is a big one.
No, I mean it's because I didn't see many, but probably you saw more. Let's see. And but yes, yeah, I was saying more about like this generic thing. Let's see. Ride the trend. It's also how to read the trend. Also time to learn, I like this. AI-based developer tools.
Right, okay.
Increased trend of using standard developer tools that have AI built into them as a core piece of functionality. Cursor and Raycast. Do you know them? Both tools that are helping more efficient. The extensions. I like GitHub Copilot. But is this web development trend? Improve efficiency and effectiveness. This is more like maybe in the workflow of development.
Yeah, I think this is like Copilot. Even what I just showed you right now with Find, I haven't used Stack Overflow or even Google for that matter. I'm using AI tools to find the answer faster. So I'm able to filter things out where, in normal research, I have to Google something up, then I have to read 10 articles to really get the information. And then I have to read a bunch of stuff in between that's irrelevant to me. With these AI tools, I'm able to force that information out faster. With Copilot and any other tool like that, I'm not disagreeing with this. I can see both of these. Serverless architecture. Oh, I guess we're not going to that one yet, but
let's go to the next one. Serverless architecture, AWS Lambda overview.
I don't know if I agree with this one. I don't know if I agree with this one. I mean, I can't disagree necessarily. Like, I see it being a trend, but I feel like this is more of a case of I'm on Twitter too often, and I'm seeing what's popular, but not what people are actually doing. Like I always say, tech Twitter is not tech. It really, like, tech Twitter represents the actual tech industry, maybe like 5% of it.
Is there life outside Twitter? I thought that Twitter was like absolutely truth. No, this sounds new to me.
No, sometimes I get on Twitter and I'm like, what are you all talking about? Like the stuff that I'm seeing, the trends, you'd think everybody today is using Next.js and a Node Express server. And that's just not the reality of the industry. But yeah, everybody on tech Twitter is using those tools with Tailwind, and they're always showing the latest tools, which is fine because that's how social media works. It's going to go for more trendy stuff. The serverless architecture stuff is, I'm not saying it's a trend on it's a fad or anything like that. I see it used less often than people think.
Yes, and of course, having more followers on Twitter, you are basically doomed. So you need to follow the trends, of course.
Well, it means you're the better developer, right?
You can't disagree. You can't disagree with trends anymore because you are part of this world. You are part of these trends. So, okay, all right, that's a trend.
How to
Jamstack. Oh, okay. It's been around 2015. I should see in which stack, because, for example, here I heard it multiple times. I don't know if it's still trendy. I think in 2020 it was trending a lot, Jamstack.
Yeah.
Now I heard a bit less, but maybe it's just me. I don't know. I just maybe stopped following some parts here. Development support, static generator. In 2023 grew by 30%. What do you think?
I'm trying to remember what all is in that stack. It's basically, actually, I'm trying to find it right now. Like, what does it include?
Okay, why did you kidnap Jason, by the way? He's broadcasting live from Dennis' basement. Where he keeps I don't know what you're doing, Jason.
Jamstack is JavaScript APIs market. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a broad term. It's basically the JavaScript ecosystem. I mean, yeah, this is kind of the thing that I said. Yeah, it is trending. Yeah, I don't know if I can disagree with it. I just hear the term Jamstack a lot less, but
that's it. Of course, this is all based on the personal perception, I think.
I mean, there is data to back this stuff up. That's kind of my point. Where there's a perception of what you're seeing on social media, so you think that that's what everyone's doing, and then there's a reality of go talk to developers that don't hang out on social media, and they have no idea what people are actually like talking about. Like they're just using their stack and they're sticking to that.
Yes. Okay. Nice. Read the trend. I like that. By the way, I have to say something about the article. I like that it's not just a listicle of things, but he also put like how to read the trend and time to learn. I mean, so it's a good plus instead of having just a list of statements. So kudos to you, Connor. This is my bread and butter. No, it's not. Animated UI and engaging UX. Human attention span dropped by almost 25% from 2000. Framer motion. I don't even know if we can call it like a trend or something that just should be improved no matter what.
I mean, I'm seeing it. Every site is adding something to it. We at AppWrite have stuff on our site now that's popping into screen. It's not so static. Next.js or Vercel is doing that with all their event tickets. Now you can actually grab the ticket and swing it around. It's like on a lanyard. I can't disagree with this one. I actually see this actually happening.
I think we also do some of this stuff on daily dev. Yes, of course we do. Write the trend and to create. Yeah.
I mean, that's been a trend for a while.
Okay, I think we can skip this one. Yeah. Dark mode. Okay. Yes. Enable dark light mode switcher from Tailwind CSS. Okay.
I mean, Theo did just put dark mode as a premium feature. So it's that
I love that, and he's bashing everyone who releases a dark mode for free. You see that now he's bashing everyone. If you release dark mode for free, he's basically working against his business. So he really hates that.
I should start doing that. I should make sure all my articles are behind a paywall that are in dark mode, or put dark mode. Yeah, release them for free, but you want dark mode, which I would pay for. I need it. I actually can't read articles in light mode for too long.
Yeah, and I think in that case, I don't know. I will pay just as a token of appreciation for you. That is just to say, okay. So I think that's the thing. No, this is a nice take.
Dark mode should not be free.
That's fun. It's nice. I would not expect this, but this maybe can be an interesting one. Yes. TypeScript adoption. Okay. It's always been popular. Benefit and features like improved error detection. Yeah, we know TypeScript. GitHub state of Octoverse. The usage of TypeScript in open source projects has now overtaken Java and replaced it as a third most popular language for open source projects. It's interesting, and I think that not just for front end, but I think maybe even more on the back. There is no reason why TypeScript adoption will slow down as more and more JavaScript developers learn it. Basic knowledge. Yeah. What do you think? Well, popular frameworks like Nest.js already have built-in support. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can disagree with it. I'm not a fan of not the trend. I'm not the biggest fan of certain things behind it or the community behind it. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Drop them if you want. I see. For example, there is that we should find that DHH article about like ditching TypeScript and going back to JavaScript.
Oh, right.
But I think that's an edge case. I want to say maybe for the next episode, I want to prepare the articles for. But this was an experiment, and I hope you enjoyed it. You can also drop some comments, of course. Number 8, component-driven design and development. Increase the popularity here. Frameworks and libraries like React and Vue. The recommendation for component-driven design and development practices are also increasing year to year. Besides these frameworks and libraries recommending this type of workflow, there are actually some great reasons to follow this principle, such as improved collaboration, simplified communication, and reduced code duplication.
I mean, this is a trend that's been going on for a while, though. I wouldn't mark it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a trend of 2024, so
Yeah.
probably I would not have put this. Sorry, Connor. Yes.
Headless CMS.
It's easy to judge when you didn't read the article.
Right.
Me from India. Hi. Okay. Headless CMS with visual experience. Notify state of web development reporting. We mentioned earlier for Jamstack, there is an appendix showing the state of headless CMS in the last 12 months. This makes room, I think. This makes room for some interesting reading, as it shows there is an increasing demand for moving away from traditional CMSs like WordPress and moving towards headless CMS. This observation through for, a visual editing experience. Thoughts?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm personally not a WordPress fan, even though that's where I kind of got a lot of my start way back in the day. But I've personally liked the headless CMS route, and I've seen it. I can't back it up with numbers, but just from my ecosystem, and that's not really a good way to gauge it because I'm just in my own circle, and that's what I'm hearing. But I can see this one with the tools like Hashnode, Sanity. A lot of these platforms seems like they're taking off for sure.
Yes, we'll see. I think I saw headless Hashnode, but should check it out. Yes, probably we have more of these now.
My only issue with Hashnode is that they force you into what's the GraphQL? You have to use GraphQL with it, which I didn't like. I like using GraphQL. I hate setting it up. There's just such a high entry barrier to it, and I'm just not it's not something I use regularly, so I didn't enjoy that part.
Nice. Talking about GraphQL API first development, API design, API development, API deployment, feature development, deploy. Okay. What is growing demand for using API first development? This type of development makes it easy to create bespoke applications and integrate a series of tools through APIs. But is this a 2024 trend? This way you can build a great mobile and desktop experience. Okay. You see GraphQL here. Comfort API first development. I think this has been around for a while. No, is it just me?
I mean, in my opinion, yeah, it wouldn't be a 2024 trend. I see. Okay, so yeah, just the process of building APIs first. You're basically thinking from the ground up. I can see that, and I've already used that approach, years ago, and that's what I've seen. But maybe there's data to prove that this is something that's becoming more common.
Yes, I mean, I think that it's overall a good article. Maybe some of the trends that I read, they are maybe they've been around for longer, but yes, many trends. Comparing GitHub to GitLab. Nice. This is maybe we'll keep some for the next articles. But yes, by the way, kudos to Connor. I want to just give a shout out to him because he has been he was also doing videos at some point. I don't know if he's still doing. He did a challenge for videos. I'm biased. Whatever. If you make a challenge of making videos, you are automatically my friend, basically. So,
what was the challenge?
The challenge was 30 videos in 30 days. It was 2 years back. But I want to give a shout out to Connor just for this. Nice. Dennis, I think it was a nice experiment. I would say it's fun. It's funny. I would say to react to videos and articles. It's interesting for our fact because we're also using daily.dev as a platform. My only thing, my comment is that probably next time I want to prepare some of the articles and videos before. That's the only thing, or maybe, and you can even, and I saw, for example, this trend of Prime. For example, you use a thumbnail with the most controversial article you talk about. I love when he says, like, I don't know, I hate Rust, but of course the article is about he reading an article of someone who says that he hates Rust. So it's tricky. It's like I should make the same. Like I will never use Docker anymore, and that's an article of someone who wrote it, and I disagree with him, or I can even agree on some parts. So
yeah, I think having them prepped, and I mean, try to get the community to send you some or find you some too. I think that'd be interesting. But yeah, there's a style, like the ones where you can agree or disagree with more, like these trends or things not to do or to do. Those are a little bit easier to respond to.
Nice, interesting. It would be nice to react to some videos and articles about daily.dev here live. That would be interesting, especially some bad ones. Hey, Dennis, have you got suggestions, idea for creating awesome videos? I want to get started. Dennis is your man, of course.
So I'm assuming, so for YouTube, I'm assuming that's a platform. For me, my biggest thing with this is just to get started. I know that's a cliche, but start putting videos out and just start putting them out often. Like, to me, it's just a process of creation and to not overthink it. Some of my earliest videos I still have up on my channel. I've taken a few down, and it's really embarrassing. Everyone kind of starts off rough. I think I was actually probably one of the worst. Most people that do videos nowadays are probably way better than, you know, where I'm at, especially the younger people, because they're growing up with a camera in front of their face. But I would say just get started with putting out videos and just take notes from yourself. Just try to test a lot and make sure there's production. Don't try to, content production. Don't try to overproduce the videos as far as over optimizing them, over editing them. Just get them out there and get feedback as quick as possible and keep that momentum going. What I found is once I produce one video, I can produce another, and it's a lot easier to keep that going as opposed to if I have weeks on in between. Francesco, I'm sure you've experienced that when you haven't done a video in a while. It starts feeling like you get dull and you just don't have that same energy to produce something new. And then once you crank out a video, it's like that night you're ready to do another one. So I would just say focus on getting a lot of content. Don't focus on quality as much, maybe quality of information that's good, and get that feedback. And then eventually there's a stuff where you can pick a niche, go a certain way, but I'm not sure where you're at in this process. Just don't overthink them though.
Love this one, Dennis. I can give my quick 2 cents on this. I think that starting from something you're familiar with is the best solution. I will not start just going with something trendy that you don't know as your first video, because just creating the video itself, it can be a tough process. For example, my first technical videos, it was something that I was very familiar with, which was Docker, and still I struggled a lot just because of the video process. So I will start with something you know. So it's also a great way to expand. And I would say that now, of course, I'll say something very cliche, that it's like do what you like and experiment. For example, I started the podcast series I have on my channel. It was not planned at all. Sometimes you make an experiment, you see that it works, and then you keep going. The Rust series is the same. Even for example, on the daily.dev account, we started making this. They started making this monthly event. I think Dennis, you came 1 or 2 times, and this was an experiment. It was I think 2021, and now they've been 3 years. But it was an experiment, of course, and they have been. Even this one is an experiment. For example, this reaction video. So yeah. I will say that I think the best is to like leave like 20-25% to experiments. And I think that even bigger channels, they do some sort of experiments from time to time just to test. Of course, they keep the quality very high. They outsource a lot of stuff. But I would say this. And I think that now,
The irony is a lot of times the biggest videos that I've had on my channel were the ones that I didn't prep the most on. And that's the frustrating part, because you'll put all your energy into one, and then it just doesn't do anything. And then there's a video you'll film in 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's your best video. You know, you're like, oh, well, that works. You know, for Francesco, it seems like the Rust stuff has what's been really what took off. And that was probably by accident that you realize. And then what you do is you lean into that thing. So if you're not experimenting with those, if you're putting too much energy into one, you burn out quicker as opposed to getting content production out there. There's just so much out of your control. I mean, you're at the mercy of the YouTube algorithm. There's like, you can control it in the sense of Francesco and I can start a new channel, and I can guarantee you we'll succeed because we know how to do it. But even then, we're still going to have to try certain things. So the YouTube algorithm may not be favorable to us in one, but we'll eventually get it because we know how that works now. But early on, while you don't know that, like, just don't try to over optimize that. Toby Keith, he's for anybody that doesn't know who that is, he's a famous country artist. He actually just passed away like a week ago. He had the most #1 albums. He had basically hit all the records, and he was doing an interview 3 days before he passed away. And they asked him, how did you do it? And he says, well, I just put out the most music. That's it. That was his answer. He just said, I put out more music than any other country artist could ever put out. And it was simply a numbers game for him. Sure, there was talent. There was a lot that went into it, but he just put out the most music, and that gave him the best chances to succeed. So, yeah.
Graham, you are late, so we are about to close this one. So we already reacted to some cool stuff, but yes, and yes, I will say that having I think the #1 goal if you make videos is to don't stop, to don't burn out, do something sustainable. That's even more important than doing super high quality stuff, because it's very similar to exercise. If you don't stop, then you can still experiment, you can change things, you can remove videos, you can make new videos, you can make challenges, you can do many things. But that's the #1 goal, because I know, sadly, many people who stopped making videos. Some of them are my friends. I'm not saying names, for reasons. There are different reasons, of course. But I think that would be the #1 thing if you want to keep growing. Of course, I was saying I would say after you reach a level in videos, I don't know, for example, Kunal, other people, you can even stop for some months if you had something big coming in your life. But like at the very beginning, like to reaching a nice goal and then when being known that you can make videos, it's a good one. Yes.
I noticed you looked at me, Francesco, and you said some people stopped, even my friends.
What?
I said, I noticed you looked at me when you said some people stopped, because I haven't put out a video on my channel in 8 months. There's a reason for it, but
it's not. No, it's not. It was not a direct attack to you. It might be. So if we want to get more views, we can fight during the chat. It's what I said. Like once you reach a certain level, if now you stop for some months and then you put out a video, it's fine because you are already known. You already have the audience. But I see people like, I don't know, putting like 2 videos, 3 videos, and then they stop. I'm talking to them, not to people who has like hundreds of videos. Because they have this bad experience with YouTube, and it's a shame. And I know I have some friends who made like some videos. They say, no, it's too hard for me to keep the pace at the beginning. That's it.
Yeah, another cliche is don't do YouTube for the money. There's different ways to optimize it, but YouTube will not pay well if you can optimize it in other ways. But even then, it's something that requires so much hard work and dedication that if you don't enjoy it, you'll kill yourself with it. Like it'll burn you out. Like that's actually the reason why I kind of stopped. Was I made really good money with it, but that was because I optimized it in courses, and I just kind of got to the point where I just didn't enjoy it as much, and I'm still trying to revamp certain things, but I'm really trying to come back with energy and doing this as something that I just enjoy doing, because I started it with the passion of teaching. Really wanted to do that. Sure, there were financial goals, but once I hit a certain plateau, I just would get behind the camera and I just didn't care to film anymore. That could happen really fast if you don't have a different reason for doing this. Like Francesco, I think, would do this regardless. I know you obviously have your goals, but you just enjoy this process so much to where, yeah, you have that end goal, but you're just hanging out and doing your thing. Like this is something that you're having fun with.
Yes. For example, I'm really enjoying the the lately videos that I'm doing, and I think it's a superpower. Like if you find a topic that you also like, I don't know, like it has been maybe Django for you, and so that can also be a good one. Nice. We have still time for maybe 2 or 3 questions, and then we can close it. Thank you so much, Dennis. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to Dennis' YouTube channel. You will never regret it. He has some cool, amazing videos on many different topics, especially Django. Also something about freelancing. I think do you have some videos like I remember like selling your first website, like many great videos. Also, like sometimes you also do like very long live streams,
12-hour live streams.
So,
I experimented quite a bit. I have a lot of different formats. I have everything from 12-hour live streams to 60-second videos, and then full courses and tutorials, and then different tech. It kind of went all over the place. What does greasy advice mean, or does that mean great advice? Oh, great. Okay, I hope it means great.
I mean, it can be, of course. Now we open up to a lot of fun words. So this probably will be the best clip of the whole video. I don't know what do you mean by I don't have enough gadget and environment?
Ooh, this is a good one.
Do you mean like stuff like this?
Yeah, that's what he's referring to. So okay, so if you have a phone or a webcam and you have headphones, you're good. And you just get a screen recording platform or tool that's free. Like get OBS. Unless you truly don't have any of those, like don't focus on high quality stuff. I'm using a webcam. If you look at my background, this is actually not a good background. I have a light there. But when I started, white background, I don't over optimize that. Even in my video editing, if you look at the style, it's very minimalist. And that's something that you should not be held back with. Like the biggest thing to me is as long as you have decent audio and it's not like super echoey and in the background somewhere, you're fine. Like even iPhone headphones will work. So please don't let that be an excuse. Because if you let that be an excuse now, I guarantee you will not have a successful channel because you're just going to find one excuse after another. Like get your phone, man. There's phones have enough video quality to be able, or the quality is good enough too.
Yeah, I always say this, like, of course, this was a good excuse in the 90s. Now it's no more a good excuse. I know because I used this excuse also some years ago, but still it was bad. Basically, at the end of the day, it's just an excuse. I just want to add something a bit maybe controversial and unpopular take. I think that your quality on video should actually be better than your equipment, because I think like having like a 4K video, perfect microphone, and then you don't know what to say, or you sound like a bit weird because you don't feel comfortable in front of the camera, you would give me the impression of a person who has like a very rich dad and parents that they bought him or her everything, and you know nothing. So this maybe it's not true. Maybe you spent like 6 months of sales, but this would be my impression. You know that kid with that very expensive car, and they don't know how to drive. This would give me the impression. So not a very good one. Maybe it's not even true, but this is what I would say. And I think that it's even, I want to say something, Dennis. I think it's fascinating, like that you improve your quality in your process. I want to say, like maybe even starting with a bad quality, like that guy made the MBHD. Like you start with a very bad quality, and then you start improving. You buy your camera. It's even like, I remember it was emotional. Like when I bought this camera, when I bought this microphone, I would say if you start already with all the top equipment, you don't know how to improve it. So it can even be.
I like the rich dad analogy that you mentioned, because I feel the same way. The irony is I actually went downwards in my quality because I still have a DSLR camera. And in fact, I have one right there next to my daily.dev gummies and the daily.dev game somewhere down there. There we go. But I just got tired of setting it up. And to me, my whole thing is as long as my audio is decent and my information's good, if somebody doesn't want to watch my videos because the quality isn't that good, I don't care. I just kind of stopped caring about stuff like that. And because that killed my own passion. Because what happened is I started over optimizing videos and worrying about what people think. It seemed like the more the channel grew, the worse my quality got, because then I was overthinking stuff like that. Whereas when I had, a couple hundred subscribers or a couple thousand, I would just put out information because it was fun and I really enjoyed it. And then I had those first, few people that were really supporting me, and I made videos for them. And then you started getting all the opinions and the comments, and which they don't bother me nowadays. But I think that level of not caring has actually helped improve my stuff. I mean, now I'm working at an organization doing videos on the Appright YouTube channel, and quality does matter to them a little bit, but that's one thing I fight with them on. And I always tell them, hey, as long as our information's good, let's not over optimize the colors and the transitions and so on. I see somebody asking about the screen recording tools. So I use OBS for that. For the zoom in effects, I can edit that in post-production in DaVinci Resolve, but that's a little bit challenging. There's something I use called Screen Studio. So for the Appright videos, Nishant, I believe you're seeing those. It's called Screen Studio, and what it does is it automatically zooms for you. And what I would do, Francesco's face changed. What it does is it follows your mouse and it does automatic zooms, but I would recommend editing that and making sure that you're not just letting it control everything. You can manually override those zooms and make that look a little bit better. But yeah, Screen Studio is very helpful. It just makes everything kind of flow more naturally. Francesco, you changed real quick.
Yeah, sorry, but my neighbor had some. They throw something in my house, so they need to get it back. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. It's okay. Yeah. In my opinion, good advice is yes. Nice. So Dennis, yeah, I hope it was nice also for you. It was funny for me. Maybe next time I'll prepare more, maybe articles. We can even ask for articles that can go on the React things, or maybe we can ask like people what they want us to react. Of course, I think there are some types of articles that make sense to make a reaction to, because if they are too technical and educational, I mean, unless you make some very dumb mistake, maybe it's not worth. I never knew that I'm already Dennis subscriber. That's it. That's it. Of course you are.
I have this bot that makes people auto subscribe. So Francesco, so first of all, I'd be more than happy to come back on. And I like, if you're gonna experiment, I'm the person to test with. I'm more than happy to join and try things out, just because we go so far back with this. But I can always help suggest some, and I actually think it'd be really fun to even go through some of my videos and your advice videos and break those down, because we can give context to it, right? So like, I have a video on my channel. Let's see, what was it called? It was your first freelancing clients or something like that, right? And I can bring that up as an example, and I can like react to that and break down each one and maybe give more context to that, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe that's not a good idea, but I think it'd be fun. It was like how I got my first 25 clients, and I think I actually discussed each one.
It can be interesting. It can be interesting for sure. And yeah, so maybe next time we will come prepared with a list, and you can also ask you to suggest some of them. And of course, most of them can also be on the Daily Dev account. And yes, so I hope, Graham, that you solved this your bug and you subscribed to Dennis' YouTube channel right now. And yes, Dennis, thank you so much. We will make some more collaborations. We have a very good one coming up. I think it's in March. We have one. We are in March, of course. In a couple of weeks, we can make a spoiler. It will be some. We will make programming language to fight, and of course, Dennis will represent Python. And this will be, I think, that will be fun. Of course, I fix it, of course. But yes, nice. Dennis, thank you so much for coming. We'll keep having more collaborations. We have a lot of collaborations to do. One for Appright, more for Dennis, the celebration of my channel, your channel. So cool stuff. We should build more stuff. We need to make at least one or two more about Appright, because I went on your YouTube channel and you really showed. Next time I can build something like that. And of course, Appright is also with articles on Daily Dev. You know what I really love about Daily Dev? That it literally can be connected with everyone, with every tech stack, with every, let's say, other company.
You have like the dream developer advocate job, because you can literally talk about whatever the heck you want. You can talk about C, you can talk about JavaScript.
Yeah, awesome. This is one of the reasons why I joined, by the way. Yeah. This is not a coincidence. Like, when I got the offer, I said, okay, so this is a nice place where I can make like many. It's so easy for me to make collaborations with other developer advocates, and you can see.
Seems like, yeah, I mean, nice. You're out of developer advocates that I've seen, I think you, the guy from Planet Scale, Francis something, forgot his name, Lee Robb, and Patrick from Python Assembly AI are probably my models
Patrick Lober.
Lober, yeah, from Germany. These are my models for what a good developer advocate is. I've like, you all do it better than anyone I've seen, and I really model Francis for my videos. I model Lee Robb, what I try to do publicly, even though I'm a little bit more sarcastic and I try to bring my humor in. So sometimes that's not the most professional. So I try to keep a balance there. And then as far as people that engage, I look at what you do, Francesco. You've really done that so well on social media that, yeah, it's.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm not crying. Is that this light is really making my. I have something in my eye, but it's probably the light for the live stream.
No, yes. I mean, I hope Daily Dev tells you that regularly, daily. You know, I hope they realize what they have in you, because it's the amount of energy and just the effort you put into things.
Okay, nice. This was the best way for me to end up this very long Monday. I woke up at 4. Now it's 6 p.m. I think it's time to call the day for today. And then it's best of luck with everything. I just want to give a last shout out, of course, to Upright. They made an amazing event. We would like to replicate with something similar at Daily Dev, because I think you made a great job. It's not hard, and you know, from the behind the scenes, I can have an idea on how much work there is behind that. You know, when you like, you know, maybe you are like an actor and you see a movie, you say, oh, okay, this was so hard to do. Like, or you are a YouTuber and you see like a video with many transitions. Okay, this was so hard to do. And I get the same impression when I saw the event on the Discord server with Uprise. Say like, okay, this must be like so much work behind this, and it looks simple, but it's like having all of these, the giveaway, how it was structured. Really liked it.
It was a fun process flying the entire team out to Prague. I mean, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, the only bad thing is that you had me as a speaker. That was the only problem of the whole event. But still, like, you know, and there is no such event as perfect. So, yeah, nice. Dennis, thank you so much for coming and to experiment this new format. It was fun, and yes, see you on next collaboration. We have many of them like to plan, and best of luck. Really, you are doing an amazing job at Upright too. I saw that since you joined the company, really skyrocketed in terms of starts, reputation and stuff. So this is not a coincidence, of course.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, it is for real. I love you recorded the videos. And I thought at the beginning, I thought it was a remote thing, because I saw like everyone with this pink background. I thought it was a green screen done with CGI, but I say, oh, it is done very well. No, it was real.
We released the behind the scenes footage for anybody that doesn't follow Upright on Twitter. Make sure you do.
I saw.
Yeah, so just the announcement videos. Everything else I did, you know, from here. But the announcement videos, we had the entire team fly out to Prague. We did like a whole camp, because we do that twice a year, which is a blast. I mean, we just have such an awesome team, and it's so, the chances of that many people that have, you know, that are that similar as far as like when we go out, I mean, we just have so much fun. But, you know, we did have to make sure everyone was nice and ready for Wednesday when we recorded, to not have bags under our eyes and our brains were working properly. It was just such a fun time. But yeah, it was in a professional studio.
Yes. I saw that. It's also good for taking pictures and selfies, of course. That was the first, the main purpose. Okay, nice. Thank you so much, Dennis. We still didn't meet. I don't know whenever we'll make it. I will be at Atlanta in June, but we are still, I think, a bit far.
I'll be there.
Will you be there?
Tessa will be there. She's speaking there. My boss Tessa will be there, and I mean, as far as I know, I'm going to be there. So yeah, we should. That's probably when we officially meet up.
Okay, so this made my month, Dennis. I will be there as a speaker. I still have to.
Oh, nice.
Finalize my talk and do it very soon. But yeah, nice.
Nice. Well, I guess I'll be seeing you there.
Yes, of course.
Graham, you're just jealous.
Let's go and get a room. Yes. Bye, everyone.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.